Hello YouTube viewers. I recently got a new set of tires. I got the Kenda Klever stock size 275 65 R18. And first impression on them, great traction. Already hit loose dirt, obviously. And they're noisy though. I've had BF Goodrich KO2s. I've had Falcon Wild Peaks. The Wild Peaks, when they get old, do get noisy. And they do wear quickly with the non-LT sizes, the silica tread that are really good in the rain. And then I've had the Nitto G2s, Terra Grapplers. And those are fantastic for longevity, but their traction is by far the worst of the two others that I've stated. And these are definitely the most aggressive all-terrains. Certainly the loudest stock, but I recently put in a spacer on this sucker, as in Saturday, like 2 days ago, and 22,000 miles on the truck. Did this sucker, these 18 millimeter bolts on the power boost. There is one that is an absolute pain to get to, a pain. It's back there, I promise. It's back there somewhere. And this thing for the high voltage wiring, it's really difficult. You need a ratcheting thing, and you still should wear a glove to protect your hand. You need a 27 millimeter down there for the lower control arms if you're messing with those. I just opted for the lower control arm drop to get the strut assembly out. The reason being, I did not want to deal with the CV at all going to the integrated wheel end on a Ford. My last truck failed a couple times after that thing was disconnected and reconnected. They are finicky as all get out, and I did not want to mess with that. So I dropped the lower control arm in front and back and reconnected that, and then took it into an alignment. And it was crazy how bad the alignment was off. So you'll need a 27 millimeter, you need a 21 millimeter. If you do that way. Up here, I believe we're looking at 21 millimeters. And to loosen up the upper control arms, and these are 18 millimeters. So obviously this is a ratchet. These are regular socket to loosen, because they're like 122 foot-pounds of torque. And then down here, those are like torqued to like 250-ish. And you'll need a 27 and I think a 21. One being probably ratchet torque, torque wrench compatible, and the other being just some kind of open end wrench. Yeah, so fun times. It was a job. I did it alone, and it took about 4.5 to 5 hours. But I got the spacer in and already put it to work where I needed the ground clearance the first day back to work. So well worth it. Gonna do rear blocks pretty soon, and just add 3/4 of an inch so I can get my rake back, so that when I put a four-wheeler in the back, it actually still looks like a truck. And the rear departure angle is always kind of an issue on these things, so I'm gonna just raise that. Oh well, now you know who I am, if you know how to look that up. Oh well. Yeah, so they're nice treads. Quite aggressive. But next step, replace the block. I'm gonna put in a 2-inch block, or I don't know. It adds 3/4 of an inch. That's the whole point. Just enough where I put 1.5 inches in the front and 3/4 in the back, so that it adds a little bit of a level, but still keeps enough rake to not look like I'm from some redneck from Carolina. Y'all have a good day. The Kenda Klever ATs, they're an all-terrain technically, but man, I would probably venture to say these are closer to a hybrid tire than an all-terrain. There's some like the Nittos, the hybrids. I honestly think these are probably more capable off-road than those Nittos. So if you guys really need capability, I'd look into these. These are new. They just came out recently. My tire guy is a friend of mine, and he hooked me up. These things were only about just a hair around. It was about $200 a tire. At 260, it's a 116 rated, so a little bit heavier duty than the 114 rated stock. And I'm happy with them so far. They are noisy, but for my life, I like the capability. I'll suffer. And the truck has pretty good sound insulation. If you have a base truck and you've never had all-terrains this extreme, you probably will be disappointed with the noise.